it through. Had a good heater this day, as you'll see throughout this video, but playing it through 1001 what 1112. These are the counts, so let's just go ahead and start us off, right? Let's go start us off, right? The first AB of the game. And even though it's a start, I'm not going to treat it like a start. It's only 2 innings, right? So 1-2 here. Love this fastball. This is the thing I was talking about in that dang podcast that I did, talking about Winterball recap and talking about how many dang foul balls that I get in strikeout counts, right? So if we just look at this pitch here, so this is the 1-1 heater. 1-1 heater, boom, got it, okay? So we got a swing and a miss there. Let's just look at the location of the swing and the miss, okay? Here, this is his belt. We're right in line. And I said this on the podcast. I talked about like when my heater's there in this area, right? So if we were to draw according to the rule of where the strike zone actually is, it's the top of the pant. And I don't really know where the plate is, but let's just say the strike zone is this. And that's probably too low, right? Because it's kind of going like right at the knees. But let's just say the upper quadrant, middle quadrant, and then the bottom quadrant. When my ball is here, I'm going to have the most success with my heater, and you'll see that throughout. Now, the thing that I need to start getting a little bit better at, in my opinion, is understanding like, all right, here's the strike. Here's the strike one. I can throw for a take. If he takes it, and I can still get a strike here. And then I could have the ability to then throw here, which is not necessarily like a strike, but probably going to do a better job of missing the bat if I can just continue to climb this guy and play around this area here. Okay. And you'll see that. Let's go ahead and go back there. You'll see that got the swing and the miss, got the foul ball. Now I actually did exactly what I just was talking about, like the ability to throw for a strike and then even climb the ladder more here as you see the belt and you see where the location is. That's just a good hitter, okay? And then we go from there to then going to there, which is not up at all, right? Kind of just middle away. Now, essentially the way that I believe this to work, if I throw it in that same location as I threw the one before that, I don't think he has another chance. And then I go to the slider. Pretty dang good take, right? That's a pretty good take. I think I did an overlay on this somewhere on my YouTube, but out of the hand, oh, that's a slider. Dang, that's a really good take. So it ends up here. I want to say it started here. Credit to the hitter. So 2-2, and then really good pitch. Don't get the call. That just happens. This is a really good sequence, man. Sometimes you got to give hitters the credit, but you see where that ended up. Boom. Borderline. I don't know. Where's the home plate? But here's the thing is like I start realizing this more and more as I continue to evolve, I guess, is like out of the hand means so much, obviously, especially when you're throwing 95 plus, okay, to the hitter. Out of the hand means so much. The trajectory of the ball, right? So like out of this hand and the trajectory of this ball coming into the swing area, if it's coming out and it's going, like say if we cut the plate in half and it's going in this direction, you're going to see probably a lot more engagement. And then something like if it's going to this part of the plate, you're going to see a lot more takes. Now, count dependent, but that's something that I've kind of realized as I've just been more, mindful of all this stuff. We talk about like the quadrants, right? We talk about like here's quadrant 1, here's 2, here's 3, whatever, and like having the ability to throw there, cool. But like, what if we took those same quadrants, right? And we went, all right, I'm going to split those quadrants in half. I'm going to go here for a swing engagement, and I'm going to go here for a freeze. That's probably pretty advanced, but it's been kind of playing and holding true with the way I've thrown. So that's like upper quadrant, right? But it's in, so you get that take. And that's a really good pitch, and that's something that I don't really utilize a whole lot. And then we go 3-2 and we throw up and we walk them, right? So that's the beauty of baseball, though. All right, good pitch. Now we're 1-1, going hard in. I don't mind it. Now we're 2-2, action count. Good slider. Obviously didn't get the double play. He was stealing. 0-0 slider. 0-1 or 1-0. Now we're 1-1. Really good fastball here, right? Okay, so this is kind of the concept of not just up and down, but in and out as well. And you also got to take into account like the effective velocity portion of this, right? So you start them off with a slider, you speed them up, and then the 1-0, you go fastball, or sorry, that's the slider. So this is the 0-0 slider for a ball, fastball up. And that's not even that up, right? That's just middle. And that's when you can kind of see like either A, the hitter just doesn't have timing, or B, the pitcher, has a little giddy up on the heater biscuit. So you foul ball there. And so now I want to go back in hard. And this is where we can talk about like the effective velocity. If he's tardy to the fastball middle, we don't have to be fine. He doesn't have the timing. Let's go a little bit more in. Speed up. Effective velocity, you look at like the ball's perception like closest to the eyes, +2, potentially +1. But here's the thing is like I start realizing this more and more as I continue to evolve, I guess, is like out of the hand means so much, obviously, especially when you're throwing 95 plus, okay, to the hitter. Out of the hand means so much. The trajectory of the ball, dude, this is a really good sequence here too. Probably swung, to be honest, right? Not a great camera angle. 2-2. Throwing up again, foul ball. And then I want to say that that's the cutter that I was throwing there. But we did so much work on like the inner half of this, right, that we sped them up, okay? And then now you see something, that middle that's going away. You want to get going early as a hitter because the timing's jacked up. That's something that's consciously on your mind. Is like, man, my timing, I'm not getting there. I got to speed it up. And then you can throw that pitch that looks like that same heater into where the hitter goes, oh, I got to speed up to get there. And, you get early engagement. He doesn't see it. So now we're 2 outs, 0-0 slider, 0-1 curveball, broken bat, ground out. All right. So now second inning, fastball up. Curveball. I like the 2-pitch tunnel because this is something that I talk about a lot too. Not just the ability to have a 4-seam that plays up and then have a curveball to pair off of that, but also have the ability to throw the fastball up for potentially a strike. I don't think we're going to get this call right here if he doesn't swing. But again, when we look at like the belt, it's I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that. But and then so now you can tunnel. For me, this isn't the best tunnel because honestly, if I wanted to tunnel that curveball better, it would probably like bounce behind home plate and it would match that same one. Like for my curveball and fastball, since there's such movement profile there on my curveball, like my fastball has to be here for my curveball to then tunnel off of that. But then this curveball, not terrible in terms of the pitch location. You're not going to get hurt there, especially if you're ahead in the count. I see this is something that I need to get better at as well in terms of reading the hitter, because for instance, like I had a start against these guys, I think maybe a week before this one. And I remember this particular hitter didn't react great to my curveball. So maybe just one of those things that he's not seeing it out of the hand. So even 0-1 here, where maybe the situation does call for this curveball down at the bottom of the zone, or 0-1, 0-2, whatever, I could probably get away with, the one that quote unquote pops and goes into the strike zone. Which is honestly, I think I tried to do that. Just was a little bit down. So now we're 1-1 slider. He's seeing the slider. You're going to see this. This is a good teaching point here too. He's seeing the slider well. You can see it from that one. Timing on the heater's a little bit off. Maybe slider, saw that one good. And then we throw another one that ended up walking the guy. So this is something that I obviously need to get better at, because I get really conscious of strikeouts, and I know that from a data standpoint, like the slider is probably the best swing and miss pitch, like miss bat pitch. So I lean towards that on a lot of occasions, but what I need to be considerate of is like understanding the hitter, understanding like what are his takes telling me, how is he taking particular pitches. That's going to give me a pretty good indication of like what he's seeing in the moment, right? So what we saw in the moment was he didn't necessarily have barrel timing for my fastball, and he was giving up early on my curveball, but yet I did him a favor by throwing him sliders, in which looks like easy take, right? So, and then, but this is the beauty of baseball. We get a first pitch double play. So now 2 outs, fastball away, got the call, and then fastball away, don't get the call, 1-1. That's a pretty good opportunity to throw the curveball. I like the call here, 1-1. I do believe that my curveball is better after pairing it with, like, so you see these first 2 fastballs. I believe it's better after pairing it with fastballs in. As I mentioned before, with the effective velocity, fastball in, you have to, especially depending on the hitter, right? Some hitters are just good to get their barrel to the ball quick, and they're good with their hands to get to the inner third. But effective velocity, you got to initiate your swing early. You got to get on time. It's just, a harder pitch. And when you pair, like, so fastball away, say effective velocity says that's -2, fastball away, effective velocity says that's -2, and then you throw this curveball after those fastballs away, in which he kind of is starting to see more. He has more time to see. Now, if you go, say those, even if the pitch before that was a heater here on the inner third, next pitch, out of the hand, he's got to be ready to initiate. That's just something that I personally believe in talking to hitters. That's something that they tell me, that, because I'm always kind of curious, asking questions about when is the best time to throw the curveball, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see that he saw it deep, saw it long. Now we're 2-1, fastball away, don't get the call, 3-1, fastball down and away. That's a good pitch, good hack 2, 3-2. And then we throw the cutter, broken bat, ground ball to first, out of the inning, out of the outing. So a couple key points that I would say coming from this outing is just, there's this fine line between in the moment thinking so much and just reaction of like, how do I say this? Reacting to things that you already know. For example, the one hitter we talked about with the going to the slider, when he clearly showed me that A, didn't have fastball timing down, and B, was giving up on the curveball early. That's something that not necessarily need to be consciously thinking about in the moment and just kind of like, clouding all that judgment. It's just something that should happen, right? Like, oh, thank you for that information, hitter. Boom, now we do this. Another point to the at bat that we just watched with the 2 fastballs away and then a curveball, that particular sequence there, fastballs away, that particular sequence is better maybe designed to then throw the slider off the fastball away. It's probably going to have a better tunnel effect, whereas that curveball maybe looks like a completely different offering out of the hand. And then going back to that first hitter, what we learned is understanding like the not just like the quadrants of it, but like splitting the quadrants in half and getting engagement on one side, whereas you get takes on something on the other side of that, and so on and so forth. So for me, good outing overall. The 2 walks are really frustrating because they both came in leverage counts, both came in strikeout counts, and as I mentioned earlier in this breakdown, like I just did a whole podcast on breaking down my Winterball performance, and the biggest thing that I talked about was like getting in strikeout counts and not getting strikeouts. Like I had, what was it, 620? I forget how many innings, but like I had five fewer strikeouts than innings pitched, but like I got in a lot of strikeout counts. So something moving forward that we'll have to, do some more work on, because the stuff is there. And I'm obviously biased, but you guys can see like the stuff is there, the heater's there, the ability to locate the heater east, west, north, south. Even the curveball here was there. Didn't throw a splange up. Slider was decent. Cutter was decent, but stuff is there. I think looking at the overall stuff, it's about, okay, well, why am I not getting strikeouts? Like I'm missing bats early in counts, not getting strikeouts. So those are key takeaways to that. So shout out OnForm for this sweet app that allows me to do everything you see here. I'm going to be doing more content with them. We just partnered up. So be sure to check out OnForm on your App Store, Google Play, or whatever, Android. I don't know how you guys do it, but that'll be it for now, guys. Much love. That's a tough sig. God bless. Until next time.